Okay, now it says I'm live. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. How's it going? So sorry about the technical difficulties. So today we are going to be doing a little bit of work in my closet. I'm going to be organizing, I'll be honest with you. It's not going to be like a lot of model railroading work. What I'm going to do is this was all kind of like, it was very, I couldn't walk in here. It was extremely just crowded with lots of tubs full of model railroad stuff, along with these shelves right here just being nothing but Lego bins, because I have Legos as a hobby of mine. And it was very difficult to move in here. And I need to be able to move because I have, right below me, you can see right here, going through the closet is my staging tracks. So I want to be able to access those. They go out through a little hole in here, and there's, you can see a little bit of light kind of coming in here. All the way back through here, these are all accessible, so I can get to them. But hard to get to them when everything is kind of blocked off and just inaccessible. On top of that, like, you know, I'm starting to get to doing more track work. I'm going to be starting to do some scenery, so I want to have all of my materials accessible to me. So I want to have a nice place to keep them and store them and organize them. That's what's going on here. What this whole section will be about is just a place to be able to organize, store stuff, get what I need and get out easily. I got to crawl underneath some bench work to get in and out, but I'm fairly young and spry still, so I can make that happen. And yeah, so that's what this is all about. I'm going to go through my collection. We'll talk about some of the stuff I have. If you're new and you have questions about some of this kind of stuff that we're seeing here, like question about cars or materials, I'm going to show off some of the senior materials I've gotten over the years. And basically, I'm going to take a look at a lot of stuff I haven't looked at in years. I've purchased stuff over the years, knowing that one day I would have a space to build the layout of my dreams. And now that I'm here and I'm doing it, it's pretty awesome. And so so I'm excited to be able to not only do that, but share that with you guys today as well. I think what I might do, which might be kind of fun, is run trains while I'm doing this. It might take a little bit to get set up and going, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Yeah, let me turn on my layout and I'm going to have a train running through here while I'm organizing. So occasionally you'll see a train run past on the staging area. It should be kind of fun. So let me grab my DCC controller. I already got a train ready to go, so we'll make that happen. Give me like 2 seconds, folks. Here, hold these guys over here. Just that's kind of fun. Right here. All right. Okay, actually, let me pull this way so that make sure it's not blocking my switch on the other side. Oh, we're good. We are good. We are good. Okay. All right. A train coming through here on this backtrack. Take a couple minutes to get this loaded. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is start filling up these shelves with boxes for cars. I got a lot of stuff on here. I've saved a lot from the last layout. We've got big foam pieces. This is the pink extruded foam that you would put in your walls. You can get that at like a Menards or a Lowe's or Home Depot. This is 2-inch floor foam. You can get this from Walmart. This is really good for trees. They'll hold the tree really, really well. so it doesn't like wiggle free. That stuff's good stuff too. So I had a bunch of that, so I saved all in a garbage bag from the last layout. Let's see, some model kit parts. These are cool. These are, what are they? Cripple Creek, is that the name of it? Cripple Bush Valley models. These are rubber rocks. I've got sections of my layout that are going to have big vertical walls of rock, essentially. And so I bought these guys. This is a rubber molding of a large piece of rock work. It's about a foot by 2 feet, probably for this one. They come in different shapes and sizes. About $50 a piece. But what you get is you get a large piece of rock. The detail is actually very, very nice on these. Let's see if I can get that close so you can see all the detail on there. And it's got some nice striation. This can be really kind of difficult to produce on your own. With like rock molds, you take rock molds and you kind of line them up and they sort of match, but then you got to fill in the gaps with plaster of Paris and the mix is never right. And so you never get necessarily the best, most realistic looking rock work out of it. But this all looks like it all kind of flows together. It looks very natural, very detailed, very nice. I am going to use like the traditional sort of plaster rock work in conjunction with this as well, but I thought having a couple of those would be a great way to go. Let's get this train running here. Oh, I forgot to turn on my layout. Hold on. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, I forgot to turn the layout on. That would help. Give the Wi-Fi a second to start up. I am a big proponent of having good storage, a good clean workspace when it comes to working on model railroads. Model railroads are inherently messy, and there's a lot that goes into them. And if you're spending like half your time cleaning up after yourself, or half your time, like trying to sort out all the mess you're making, and trying to figure out like, well, where did I leave that? Where did I leave that screwdriver at? Right? Yeah, it's not fun. Not a good use of your time. All right, so this is that floor foam I showed you that I had all cut up. This is just a bunch of unmolested foam, if you will. I think I got like 7 pieces here. Well, I guess I got about 10 pieces here. Great stuff. I love it. They're about $7 a piece or $8 a piece at Walmart. So as far as scenery materials go, they're not cheap, but I've been buying a little bit over time, over the years. When I think about it, I'm like, oh, let me grab some of it, knowing that like I'm going to use a lot of it on this layout. I probably have most of what I need now, but I'm giving myself probably a couple more, and I'll be good. But good stuff to use, but also still very expensive. It is what it is. All right. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to get this train running. That way there's something going on at all times. All right. Come on. I have baby monitor on upstairs, which it's amazing what that baby monitor will do as far as just like mess with you. Yeah. I'll leave the volume off on it, but we'll let it run. Hopefully, I don't get any derailments. You know what? I gotta close the gate. I just realized I left the gate open. That would have been really bad. Oh my god, that would have been bad. Oh my gosh. That would have been so bad. Oh man. You know, I didn't hook up the safety measures to keep that train from running when the gate was open. And thinking that like, I always remember right now. Like I don't need it right now. Oh shoot. What's going on? I'm gonna back it up to me. It came unhooked. Yeah, I didn't hook up the safety measures, thinking like, oh, I'll be all right. It won't. I'll be in the room when it's running, so it's not going to run off the edge. And then I nearly ran it off the edge. So another reason why I'm doing this cleanup is because I'm going to be putting up like a little protective wall or whatever, like a little shield around all this stuff, so that I never have problems with trains flipping off of this, down on the ground. You can see right now it's like very precariously balanced, or over what would be a very serious fall to the ground. So that's a little scary. Okay. Let's figure out why you came unconnected, shall we? All right, we'll let this run. It'll come through the shot occasionally, assuming we don't get any derailments. It's been pretty good, and it hasn't been derailing very much lately. We've been very happy about that. I've been kind of running it to break in the engines, and not a lot of derailments along the way. First car boxes going on the shelf are my center beams. These guys. I have 11 of them. So they will be, I'm going to try to group all my car boxes together so they're easy to find. I never throw away your car boxes. You're going to use them. You're going to use them when you move. You're going to use them when you just store stuff. Like, I know a lot of people think it's a little obsessive to save everything. At least when it comes to things like your boxes that your cars come in, never throw those away. I got a giant pile. Got a giant pile on the ground here, so I'm just going to start grabbing stuff. Let's see. Got a lot of Athearn boxes. I really love Athearn's Athearn. I really love their 2-bay covered hoppers. I think those are just the best. We got a box card here. What do we got here? This is a center flow hopper. I'm going to try to put all the hoppers together. I got a few different types, so I'm going to try to keep those going. Flat car. I hear another one of these guys. And TTX car. Waller's has some cement hoppers too that I've used that are they're pretty nice. You know, not a lot of wire attached wire parts, but they do come in the box, so you can make them a little nicer. This paper box car, 2-bay hopper. So I like those. I'm a huge fan of exact rail. I've got too much exact rail stuff. Here comes the train again. I love watching them run. That's the thing, man. Like I used to have a 2x10 switching layout, you know, where you kind of go into staging, come back, switch your industries, go back into staging, and that was fun. But man, it's like just to be able to watch trains run, it's fun. That's why I recommend, if it's your first layout, that you go with something where you can watch trains run. I recommend a little N scale layout, like a 3x6 foot. Just big enough that you can have a lot of fun with, but not so big you're going to like take years and years to put something together, because that's not fun. Wood car. But there really is a lot to say about just like having a layout where you can watch trains run. If you've been around the hobby for a while and you know, maybe you got friends who have large layouts and you're like, I don't need to have continuous running because I got a friend with a layout that like I can watch things run on. You know, that's one thing for sure. But never underestimate. What is this? Single door. Southern LA Railroad single door box car. I don't even know which one this is. It's gotta be that blue one, huh? Southern LA. Do I not? It's gotta be that blue one. It must be it. It's a weird stream today, I gotta admit. It's a bit of a weird one. It's not, you know, it's not your traditional stream where I'm building something. But this is an important part of the hobby, right? Keeping things clean. Cleaning up after yourself. It's never done. It's an always ever ongoing thing, it seems. Lots of boxcars. I like a boxcar. The classic. I like a boxcar. Two-way hopper. It's good to get the stuff out of the totes and like on the shelves. I have been trying to dig around in totes for a while. It's just gross. Tank car, two-bay hopper. Yeah. Another boxcar. Another center beam. More pulpwood cars. I've got pulpwood cars I won't be using in my layout. I don't know what to do with them yet, but they are little. I don't have pulp. I used to have on the old layout, I had pulpwood manufacturing. I don't have that anymore, so I've got all these pulpwood cars. I'm not sure exactly what to do with. I think I'm going to use them to practice weathering techniques that I can then later, and then like sell them or maybe give them away for like channel contests or something. Something like that. I don't imagine many of these boxes will get refilled again. I want to show you something here. All right, so I bought this on eBay a couple of years ago. This is a roundhouse kit for the Ponderay Valley Railroad. It's a Ponderay Valley Railroad boxcar. New in box, never used, right? I mean, it's a roundhouse kit, so it's an older kit, but new in box. All right, so I pull it out, and immediately we're missing trucks. All of the what they call it, the stir. What are they called? Like the grab irons, like the ones that hang down though, the stirrups. I can't remember what they're called. Those are either bent or missing. There was, it looks like there was a sticker or something on here at some point, and it's still on there. And it's just a really busted up car. It's frustrating because this is the Ponderay Valley Railroad. This is the real railroad that I'm modeling my fake version of. And when you sell something on eBay as new in box, never used, and it is clearly not, it's frustrating. I kept it. I didn't send it back. I think I bought it for like $10. Should have known. Yeah, so I kept it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. This may be like one day in the far future when I'm really bored and I want to try, and my skills are much better. I want to try to, I want to try to save something. I might try to save that car. Oops. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, what do we got here? Another box car. We've got more box cars than I thought I did. Pulpwood car. Cement hopper. Track cleaning car. My latest acquisition, or one of my latest acquisitions, track cleaning car. For this hidden staging, specifically. It's another box car. It's got a lot of box cars. Gondola. Couple more center beams. So I've purchased these over the years when I've found them, when I've felt the need to, the desire to. I don't tend to buy things often, but I'm very deliberate with what I do buy. I know the layout that I'm building. I know the industries I'm modeling. And that hasn't changed over the years for me. Luckily, I've been able to keep interest in one location. So it's never been an issue. So if I buy something for this layout, I know for the next layout, I'm fine as long as I keep the same theme. But what that lets me do is like be really specific about the kind of cars I buy and how much to spend on them, which is great. Model railroading, the cost of things can skyrocket out of control pretty quickly. Especially like with like cars and stuff. Like you're like, oh, like I really want auto racks. I love auto racks. I want a nice auto rack train. Let's get, I don't know, something like 15 cars, auto racks. And then like you look online and like they're all sold out because auto racks are very popular. You only find them on eBay for like more than they were originally, like $100 on eBay for a car. It's like, oh, but I really want the auto racks. So you spend like $1,500 on cars when you really don't need to. You could have waited, purchased. You're gonna spend money anyway. But what I'm saying is like, trying not to leap on something as soon as I see it. Kind of wait for it. That whole idea. I've been able to save some money that way while still being able to get this kind of things that I want. Still be able to buy the stuff that I'm looking to buy. Okay, almost done with the cars. Okay, almost done. And it's tough for me because when I want something, I want it, It's like, oh, I like it, I want it. It got really quiet all of a sudden. Oh shoot, my cars became uncoupled again. Back it up and bring it back here again. It's that one spot on that one swing gate. Occasionally it'll decouple cars. Virginia Midland boxcar that came in this one. I really love that car. Thanks, Shannon Crabtree. This one here is one of these additional cars that Hopewood car that I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. I might try to patch it for like a leasing railroad and just run it that way. I don't know. Run it on one of my larger trains. Don't know. Here is an Ethern caboose. Kind of terrible detail. This must be an older molding, but I've got a newer version of the same car, and it's really nice. What I didn't know when I bought it was it is. Here's more of these pulpwood cars. Let's see here. That caboose, and I've got a derailment. What's going on? Oh shoot! Not only do I have derailment, but my freaking control throttle came unconnected to Wi-Fi. Let me take care of this derailment real quick. Hold on. I'm not going to run this for now until I can kind of keep an eyeball on it. I don't have my circuit breakers connected yet. I don't have track work 100% yet, so just to play it safe, we're not going to run it for right now without me looking at it. Derailments happen. My plan is to run the layout quite a bit before I do too much scenery because I want to make sure the track work is perfect, or as close to perfect as I can get it anyway, before I go from there. Okay, what do we have there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Those are all those. Let's get on my cement hopper. All right. All righty. Let's go with what's next. What's next? Let's just go with some random stuff here. Tank cars, gondolas. Okay. Oh, there's some more 2-bay hoppers there. How high can I stack them? Alrighty. Let's see what we've got next here. Let's just start stacking some box cars. I'll put my paper box cars and my regular ones together, just cause. Alrighty. Boxcar, boxcar, boxcar. And let's do our paper. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to stack these too high because I want to topple, but I'm going to get them out of the way. Let's do flat cars and pulpwood cars together. And rando cars go on the end here. Caboose. It's a pulpwood car. Okay, cool. The cars are done. They take up much less space than I thought they would. Next, we have locomotives. I have a few. That's 6, I believe. And 2 of them are not going to be used in service, I don't believe. This one here, which I'm probably going to sell to somebody who wants to try to make it work. There's some foam pieces. I can't tell if those go with these train cars or not. Or these locomotives or not. I'll just say. Got a couple of scale trains locomotives, a couple of Athearn locomotives. I really like scale trains. Athearn's fine. Scale Trains is really fine, though. I really like Scale Train stuff. All right. Oop. You know what? I lied. I have 7. I have 7 locomotives. Yeah. Not as many as a lot of people, for sure. That is for sure. I do not have as many as a lot of people do. There are some guys who really love their locomotives. I do too. I don't love them for as much as they cost. DCC system and a power cab system. So real quick, guys, I am going to be giving away this system once I hit 1,000 subscribers. When I get 800 subscribers, I'm going to put up a video talking about my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And 4,000 subscribers, I will be giving away my power cab system. This is my old system on my old smaller layout. Now that I got my new system on my larger layout, I don't need the old one anymore. And so I want to go to somebody who appreciates it. So that will be coming up. That should be a fun giveaway. I want to give to somebody who really needs one. You know, like a kid who is getting into mono railroading, but for them, like the cost of a locomotive is expensive, let alone one of these. You know, on top of that, if I can save them some money there, I'd love to be able to do that. I think I'm going to. Well, I'm just trying to decide. I think what we're going to do is leave the rest of this top shelf for now and continue this to the second shelf. On here, I'm going to stack model kits. Yeah, I think I want. Do I want model kits on the shelf or do I want scenery materials on the shelf? I think I might want scenery materials on the shelf. Just because that's a little harder to get to and I'm using them more often. There's wheel sets and locomotive parts. Let's stick that there. Super trees. Super trees are expensive. Have you guys checked those out? Oh my gosh. I got 2 boxes. Normally I wait for like my Christmas bonus and I buy a few things. So super trees is one of those things I'm buying with the Christmas bonus because they're just a little expensive otherwise. What do you think's in here? Something every model railroader should have. You ready for it? Leaves. I have, over the last few years, collected leaves in the fall. I need more. I don't have enough, but just big leaves. Try to get them before they get dirty and covered in dirt. But you grind up leaves and you use that as a flooring material in your forests, and it look really good. Free scenery. If you can get free scenery, go for it. Okay, I think I'm going to put scenery materials on the second shelf. This is, if you watch my older videos, these are those pieces of grass that I saved from the last layout that I don't know if I'm going to actually use or not. Stuff for mixing. I hope this is still good. I may keep my plaster stuff in the plastic totes. Oh gosh, bullfrogs, turnouts. A bunch of them. From the old layout. I'm going to leave everything in here, I think. What do I got here? That needs to go with this. And I got some stuff, huh? Microscale decals. I don't remember buying some of this stuff. It's crazy. Decals. Oh, lots more decals. I don't remember buying any of this. But it's here. Let's take these with my decals. I don't know why. They're separated from the regular decals. There's more decals. Man, where did I get these decals from? I don't remember buying them at all. Paint stuff. You know what? There's glue there. I'm going to take this, sort through this. Maybe give some of it to my daughter. Okay, the rest of that will stay in there. I know, riveting video. I feel like I should be apologizing. All right, so I got a lot of spray paint in this one, along with scenery decals, grasses and stuff. The spray paint I think I want to take out. Big old box of toothbrushes. You need that for scenery. Yeah, let's take the scenery stuff, or let's take the spray paint out. Huh, I didn't even realize I had that. Dark gray ballast. This is really dark. This is darker than the dark gray that I purchased. This is like the dark gray that I thought that I purchased was going to end up being. I bought like a ton of dark gray recently, and it's not super dark. But this is really dark. This is like, look how dark it is. It's black. And the stuff I bought, I thought was going to be this color. And it turned out not to be that color. Here's some ballast made out of, this is the wooden scenics ballast. It's like the wood, what do you call it? The walnut shells ballast stuff. Rock molds. More spray paint. I have too much spray paint apparently. Plaster mixing stuff. Let's see here. More scenery bits. Yeah, all this like rock and foam and all that stuff's coming out. Ah, nice. Some good stuff in here. Weathering powders. I got a lot of weathering powders here. Those are nice. Those are expensive too. I don't know that they make them anymore. This is by AIM. Do they make AIM anymore? I don't know. That weathering powder stuff is nice. Toothpicks. I needed toothpicks. I didn't want to make a Walmart run in the middle of the pandemic for toothpicks, but I needed toothpicks. It's like Christmas. I'm finding stuff that I haven't seen in years. And I'm excited about it. I've got toothpicks, folks. Ah, there's the 10X7. I was wondering where that went. I wonder if that is still good. Can 10X7 go bad? They don't make it anymore. That's for my super trees. Track cleaning solution, which I probably don't need anymore. Palette knife. Various spoons and knives and stuffs. Miracle Mud, I'm going here. I'm going to try to pack everything. I'm putting paints out for now. And pack away some of my plaster stuff into one. So that I don't need to worry about it drying out on me. Although it's probably, if it's going to dry out, it's probably dry by now, right? I mean, I got an open box of Hydrocal that is, well, it's still so soft and dusty. Is there a Best Buy date on these things anywhere? 1992. I bought that in 92. Oh my gosh. Paper mache, something that every model railroader needs to use. That is good stuff. All right. I'm gonna find a spot for my grasses and stuff. There's tufts. Alrighty. We got now to the got all sorts of things here. Canyon Creek Scenics pine debris, pine needles, and like. Static grass, lots of static grass. I bought a little bit of a lot of different kinds because I wasn't sure how long 2 millimeter was, how long 4 or 6 millimeter was, what colors actually were. Like you'll find, like when you look in pictures, you look in pictures of static grass on like Scenery Express's website, and you compare that with what you get in real life. It looks very different. Lighting, maybe what you apply glue and stuff, that changes things. I don't know. So I bought a lot. Knowing that, I gotta be careful with this stuff. I bought a lot knowing that I would have to probably pick and choose which ones I was actually using on the layout. I think I'm gonna do scenery and like weathering and painting stuff on this lower shelf here because I'm gonna be doing hopefully some weathering soon. You know, I may not want to like get a whole lot of scenery done on the layout while I'm still working on track work and making sure that that's looking great, but I can always weather cars. Speaking of weathering, one thing I bought recently was this Vallejo weathering system set, rust and steel. $40, I think it was, and it comes with 7 paints and a wash, two washes, a couple of paint brushes, a tray, I thought for the price that was a pretty good deal. I like Vallejo quite a bit. You know, when I'm hand brushing, paints designed for weathering, I like the quality of the Vallejo. When I'm hand brushing paints designed to be used in an airbrush, I like the texture, the viscosity of the Vallejo paints. I have in here a large amount of model kits, and those are going to stay in there for now. Yeah. Those model kits are staying there for now. I'm not going to be taking those out too soon, so they're going to go right here. Put this on top of here. Yeah, look at that. Saving space. All right. I got a lot of stuff here. These are fun. These are Canyon Creek pine trees. I'm going to do a whole video on these, but I might as well tell you now. So these are, see if you can take a good look at these. It's a little hard to tell because the lighting is kind of crap, but these are some gorgeous trees that I bought. Look at the, especially around the base. What I wanted was, I wanted to find a pine tree system where I could have very, very, very nice looking pine trees that were easily reproducible. I'm modeling the Pacific Northwest, and so I'm going to have a lot, and I mean a lot, of pine trees. And pine trees are one of those models that they can look really great or they can look really bad. And I wanted really great looking pine trees, and I wanted them to be done fairly easily. There's a few different ways of doing pine trees. I actually found a video of this guy making these pine trees, and he was using, I'm not going to give away his technique in the video because I don't know if I'm supposed to, but he was using some techniques and materials that are easily accessible. And I thought, and he was showing you how to do it in the video. So he clearly wants you to be able to reproduce these if you want, which is great. I can't remember if he sold the video or not, so I don't want to tell you how to do it, you know, and then take his money away. But I wanted to see like the quality, so I bought a few of his trees, Canyon Creek Cements, and I love the quality of the tree. They look amazing. And I was like, wow, if he can do it, like maybe I can do it too. So I bought a bunch of his trees. I bought 20, 25 trees probably, and going to use those in really kind of key featured spots. And I'm going to fill in with my own trees using his tree making techniques, so that hopefully they all look kind of uniform and nice and look like they kind of came from the same thing. So I really like the Canyon Creek trees. I like the technique there. There are some other trees that look like really, really great as well that use static grass. I'm going to try to use, I'm going to try that technique as well with the static grass as like, not filler trees, but additional trees, like to break it up a little bit. Oh, Sparky's here. So I don't know if I'm going to post the video on the making of the trees themselves. I have to look it up. I have to see if his original video is free for people or if you have to pay for it. I have his video downloaded on my computer. I can tell you where I got it. I got it from Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine's video site. They're not Trainmaster TV. This was before Trainmaster TV. This was like their store where you could buy videos, right? So Joe Fugate had his videos about his layout and some of his scenery techniques. I got it when I got all those, but I can't remember if I got it for free as a package with all those other videos I bought from Joe Fugate, as like an additional, like, here you go video. I can't remember if it was like just a free video for people to download, and I can't remember if you have to pay for it. I would recommend, if it's available and it's like $10, buy the video, check it out, give the guy some money. His techniques are like it's ground foam and stuff from Walmart. So it's about as cheap as pine trees get. And as far as like the level of not quality, the amount of physical output. What am I trying to say? The amount of work it takes on your part to create one tree. It's a little bit of time. It's it's not like a super tree. It's not like you can glue stuff together, spray paint it, hairspray. It takes a little more time to get it to look great. But it's not too terrible. If you're familiar with Mike Confalone's layout, he's got pine trees that are gorgeous, but also like, they look like they take about 3 hours per tree. If I'm doing 300 trees, I don't necessarily want to do that. So I would go to Montebello Road Hobbyist Magazine's website, check it out. Canyon Creek Scenics is the name of the guy who makes them. So you can try to find that there. Yeah, Sparky, pine trees are tricky. It's a simple. I think the problem with pine trees is it's such a simple shape that if you don't do it right, it looks bad. Does that make sense? With a deciduous tree, they're kind of like spindly branches and clumps all over the place, and you can put a bunch of them together and they kind of blend into like a nice canopy. But pine trees, because of their shape, it has a quality to it that it's so simple to, like, if you don't draw it right, if you don't create it right, it looks weird. It's like cartooning, like newspaper comic strips. I'm a cartoonist, or one of the things I do is cartooning occasionally. I did it a lot more in the past, but like it's a simple line to create a cartoon character, like a Peanuts cartoon character, like a Charlie Brown, right? If you don't draw that line just right, he looks odd. It's the same kind of thing I feel with pine trees. It's a simple shape, but like if you don't get that shape right, it doesn't look like a pine tree. If you don't get the leaf separation just right or the branch separation just right, it just kind of looks weird. There's a fine line between like Christmas trees and like good-looking Montebello pine trees, and that, like, walking that, like, getting away from the Christmas tree look and into the Montebello pine tree, like good quality pine tree look, it's tough. It's tough, which is why I went with this guy's system and checked out his original trees and looked at the videos and determined, like, that's the way I wanted to go with mine in the future. Willow trees, oof. Man, willow trees. That'd be nice to have a willow tree. Those would be beautiful. I bought a bunch of these. Plaster wrap. It's plaster cloth. This is what I'm going to be using to create my mountain scenery on my layout. I'm a little nervous because it's going to be a little bit heavier because I am using plaster as opposed to just foam. But that, in combination with those florist foam blocks that you saw earlier, I should be able to keep it lightweight enough. But I really wanted to use a plaster cloth this time around because it's going to be less messy, I think, than what I was using previously. I was using like a miracle mud technique previously. So hopefully this will be a little bit less messy, but just as good. What do we have in here? Yeah, lots of scenery materials. Dowel rods for making trees with, plywood, Woodland Scenics static keying. Anyone use a static keying? Does anyone know if that's any good? I bought it because it's way cheaper than the alternative static applicators, and I didn't want to try to build my own. But I imagine it's going to be just as good. The technology behind static grass application is not difficult. It's just getting the stuff together that you need to make it happen. It can be a little tricky. All right, I'm just going to leave that. All right. Got a bunch of model kits there. Let's see. Let me put my super trees down low. I'm nervous about the super trees. I bought them years ago, and I haven't used them yet. And I know that they can dry out and become brittle. I think I've reached the brittle phase. So I think I may have to be careful. I may not be able to get as many super trees out of that as I would have liked. I'm going to have to be careful about that. All right, let's take these models out here. So here's a model I bought from Train Life. Nice semi-truck, but it came like crushed to pieces. Like about as many parts I could have gotten broken off of this thing got broken off. And normally you just glue parts back on, right? But there was enough missing there that I was like, can I get a replacement? So they replaced it for me for free. I didn't have to return the old one, which is nice. So the old one I'll eventually get around to like fixing that and putting it all the way up. Train Life, I like the people. I've bought from them a few times. The packaging has always been questionable. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let me show you these guys. I bought. Okay. Here's a pro tip about buying things on eBay. Do some research and buy knowing that like what you see may not be what you get. So I have a lumber yard on my layout. And Riley Creek Lumber is the name. So I bought a bunch of these guys. This is Idaho Forest Group lumber loads. They're not the most detailed in the world, but they're going to go on these center beams. And I saw that like somebody had on eBay was selling lumber stacks of lumber, Idaho Forest Group, which was like awesome. And they were like $4 a piece. They weren't too expensive. I bought a few. And what I got was just a piece of wood that's been painted white. And then with a pen, they've drawn like lines so that it looks like separate stacks. And then they've glued photographs of wood stacks on the side. Sorry about the focus on that. Focus. Okay, so you can see that on the sides there. See that? Look at the shape of that circle. That it's supposed to be a round circle, and these are like ovals. Like they had stretched it, but they stretched it wrong. And not only that, is it's incredibly out of scale. So here's scale stacks versus the one on top, which is the one that I got from the eBay seller. So I didn't spend a ton of money on his stuff, but I was pretty disappointed with what I got. I mean, it's not in scale. It doesn't look great. Like the photographs that are printed on there aren't even, they're stretched. And they're like folded over weird. It's just, I don't know. I didn't return them. I kind of felt like that was, what happened was I went back and I looked at eBay and saw that like he had represented them fairly. I mean, they were stretched in the photos on his eBay page. He represented them as HO scale. I wouldn't call these HO scale. These are more like O scale. So maybe he didn't represent them fairly, but like the photographs were correct. It wasn't like he was putting his best work on eBay and just like crapping them out for anyone who purchased them. But I was disappointed. I was more disappointed in myself than anything. I got a bunch of these loads for all my center beams. There's a guy on Instagram that does loads for center beam cars. What is his name? I can't remember now. Custom Loads, I think, or something like that. Very quality, very nice quality product. I plan on buying a number of his because they're really nice. But they're a little on the pricey side, so I'm gonna wait on those a little bit. All right. Cool. More decals. Nice. All righty. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. I got a little more work to do, but it's kind of like on the other side of the camera. Hey, Wicked Insanity, how are you doing? I was curious if I was going to see you today. Yep, I got a little more work to do, but it's going to be on the other side of the camera, so it's not going to be very fun. But thank you for joining me for this weird one. I appreciate it. We're going to be back to doing normal stuff next week. I think next week we're going to be installing tortoise switch machines. This last derailment happened because I don't have a switch machine hooked up, so I'm using thumbtacks to kind of hold the points in place, and it picked one of those points because I don't think it was being held in place very well. So I need to address that for sure. So we'll be addressing that next week. We'll get tortoise machines hooked up. We'll get them installed. I don't know that we're going to get them wired up next week. I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing when it comes to wiring that stuff up. But that'll be next week. But hey, thanks for coming by this week. Hey, Closet Branch, thanks for stopping by. Good morning to you. We're actually calling it a day right now. But yeah, so organization, not the most fun part of model railroading, but I think it's an important part of model railroading. Now I have a large open space I can walk around in here. I can get back to cars, kind of back here. Get back to the end of my train over here. So if there is any derailments in my staging yards, my staging tracks, I can get to them easily now, whereas before they were being blocked by a bunch of stuff. So that is awesome. So yeah, so thanks for stopping by this week. Appreciate it. I'll see everyone next week. Thank you much.